happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the Abomination Goddess podcast. Yay.
Hello.
With me today, I have Casie Halseth. She is the author of Abomination Born. It is a fictional portrayal of her real life experience with the mystical realms. So cool. Her action-packed book is full of lessons and insights and calls for other abomination-born folks around the world to just start connecting. She is an award-winning public speaker, and I think that you'll find by watching this podcast and reading her books that she effortlessly just draws her audience into her world, both in her book and on her stage. And I highly recommend her book to anybody who is feeling like maybe they don't fit in, or maybe they've had some experiences that other people haven't, and they don't know how to describe them. That's what Casey's book is for. So it is to help you find somebody, her, me, all of us, that is a little bit more like you, and your experiences are real and valid, and they're super special. So yeah, grab Abomination Born. You can see it on the screen. It is a gorgeous. Oh, actually, it's this way on my. A gorgeous cover and a wonderful story. So welcome, Casey.
Thank you.
And my name is Ashley Kim. I am the author of Villain Goddess. It is a book that I wrote to help women on their journey to set boundaries, build confidence, and to heal themselves. It is a very honest and open look at what I went through and the tools that I used to survive my villain era. I went through this journey alone, and I wrote this book so that you wouldn't have to go it alone. You will have me riding this crazy roller coaster with you, and we welcome everybody here. So I am excited for our podcast today. I love Wednesdays.
Me too.
Yay. Okay. So, first thing is first, we like to jump into our show and tell. So, I will go ahead and share my screen. My favorite part. All right. Let me move my. Okay. Can you see this okay?
Yes.
All right. So, I put all of our photos up here. We don't have to go through all of them, but sometimes it's nice just to show visuals. What do we want to start with?
Let's go with the message from the ox. Pic the write down the message of the ox and the picture of the ox.
Okay. Do you want to look at the picture first or the message first?
Yeah, the
Sorry.
picture. Let's go with this is the eight and the major arcana and its strength. And for some reason today I just this was what was really important to me. I just needed some strength.
Mhm.
And so I went ahead, and if you pull up the message from the ox, and I'd like to read that. It was very helpful for me. I think that's the one. Yeah, that one right there.
Here we go.
So this is the message from the ox. It is not always easy to keep going, to take yet another chance, or to start all over again. But sometimes the path we chose requires us to do the very things that seem the hardest to pull off. There are no guarantees along the path of life, and the only way to find out what we will encounter is to walk these paths. Standing still is not an option in the physical world. Like it or not, we all have to make our way along the karmic path. Each step is a victory, each tear is a reminder, and each mile gets us closer to where we are headed. Dig deep, little one, for you have more walking to do on this path you call life. And I just really like this because it's in the picture it's an ox, and remember ox, they pull carts, and
Mhm.
sometimes life just feels like we're pulling a cart along.
It's like it's never ending.
Yes, yes, and we're
Yes.
we're so sometimes I just need and I know that strength in the tarot is a good thing to have, and I call on strength. I always
Hmm.
call on strength. And in this picture of the ox, if you'll notice on its forehead in its
Hmm.
harness thing, it's got the letter the symbol for the infinity. And
Hmm.
so it's a never ending repeating cycle, that spiral where, we
Yeah.
go through number eight in the tarot, but later on we'll be going through number eight again, a little bit
Yeah.
higher up, and then we go through it all over again.
Yep. all over again. Yeah, I love this. That's a gorgeous photo too. I was just looking at everything that he had in his
Yeah.
or that he was carrying around there.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Then if you want to
awesome.
go to the picture of the uh, yeah, my shark's tooth
This
and
is so cool.
erythrite, erythrite. I can't say that right. I'm not sure how to say it, but there's there erythrite stone in on the shark's tooth. It's made with
Hmm.
copper and it has a garnet stone on it as well. And what is significant for me today is the shark. The shark is a creature that adapts very well to its environment. It
Hmm.
also is, of course, known for protection and things like that. But what I really related to today was the fact that it can relate, it can adapt to its environment.
Hmm.
And this erythrite stone, this red stone, it also helps to awaken all the chakras so that your
Oh,
energy can
wow.
flow through all of you.
Hmm.
And and remember how we've talked about copper, how copper goes
Yes.
down into the earth,
Hmm.
and then garnet. Let's see what I that promotes the courage to do these things.
Hmm.
So um,
Yeah.
this was so important to me. I need to adapt on this path because we're all starting out new and
Hmm. Oh, yeah.
sometimes I need to be like the shark because sharks
Hmm.
they bend side to side, how they
Hmm.
move. So I
Yeah.
need to do that. And when you feel a shark, their skin isn't smooth. It feels like sandpaper. And so
Oh,
when
I've
you're
never
petting a
touched one.
shark, yeah, when you pet a shark, it's got that sandpaper feeling to it.
Hmm.
And sometimes, I feel like sandpaper going through. And so I really appreciated the shark's tooth. And this was something I
Yeah,
got at the Enchanted in Conway when we were
I
down
love
at
this.
that.
Yeah. And it's such a good pairing too, because the copper is almost like that force, that grounding force, and that garnet. Like
Yes,
you do need courage to
yes,
be adjustable and flexible. Like you do need courage to just go with the flow to where you're going.
yes, yes.
Definitely. So yeah,
and
this is
and the surface of a shark, not being smooth, you know,
mhm.
like when
Yeah.
if you were to pick up an eel, eels are real slick and smooth. Well, sharks, they're not. And
Hmm.
so it's not going to be an easy ride,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they're flexible.
Yep, they are. I was just gonna show these real quick. Here's Garnet. Um, I like how it does show a picture of the stone too. This is a great app, and this is a
It
phone
is a
app for
great
those
app. Yes,
watching.
it's
This
a
is a phone
phone
app
app.
that Casey uses. But here's Garnet, and then we had one for. Oh, here. Is this it? Yeah. Um,
I should
yeah. I
look up
haven't.
how to say this.
I know. I don't
Ir-
know either, but
Eryth
it sounds amazing.
Ithright, Earthright. I don't know.
Erythrite. Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah. So that's our, I guess,
Erythrite.
our homework for ourselves, huh?
And the totem was from the animal totem.
Yes. Here's the.
Yeah,
Yep.
the
I like.
ox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like
I
all of the
really
cards that you
enjoyed.
pull from this one.
I know that's one of my favorites. I go to that one when I really, really, really need something.
Hmm. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I love that. And then let's see. Oh, what is this one for? Oh, the shark. Oh,
The shark,
yeah.
yes,
And
protection
I
and
also
courage,
was
strength
thinking,
and power.
you've been a little bit more into bones lately, and this kind of ties into that too, the tooth.
Oh,
Um,
interesting. Yes, it does.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah,
I love
taking
that.
in the energy of these different animals that you do
Hmm.
when you work with bones.
Yeah. Yep. Protection, strength, power. Like,
And you
oh,
know
all
how
those are,
sharks are so misunderstood. Everybody's
uh,
afraid of sharks. And sometimes, with
yes.
us, don't you feel like people are afraid of us? And yes, we can
Yeah,
bite. We try not
that
to
is
bite things
true.
that shouldn't be.
But we will if we have to.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Did you have any
Oh, and I
others?
have my
Oh,
broom magic thing there, the
yes.
sweeping of the broom. This is something that I say sometimes when I'm sweeping.
Yeah.
My morning sweep. What was done now is done. So I'm sweeping, as I say this.
Hmm.
That was then is gone. With my broom, I sweep joy. I choose joy from now on.
Yes. This gives me goosebumps. I saw this on Instagram maybe, and I took a screenshot of it because I like this just summarizes everything for me anyway, of starting fresh each day and with yourself and your people around you and even your objects around you and then the sweeping obviously too. But yeah, I loved this. Like I get goosebumps every time I read this.
Yeah, we can't change the past. What was
Mm-mm.
done is now done. I mean, it's
Yep.
done. That
Yeah.
was
It's
then is
yep.
gone.
And like what a blessing that you do get to keep moving forward, right? Because
Yes.
if you regret it, you can either fix it or learn from it, right? If you loved it, you can bring those learnings with you and try to recreate it. But either way, what's done is done.
And that's what made me think of the shark because the shark is so adaptable.
Mhm.
It moves and and
Yeah,
yeah,
swishes on through there.
pushes on through.
Yep, I love that. Okay, did we have anything else for you on here?
Nope, that was it.
Okay. I thought first of all, I want to show off my dandelion salve that I made.
Ooh,
Look how pretty this is.
that
Um,
is.
so I should have uploaded the screenshot that I took on all the properties for it because it is amazing. So skin relief, sore joint and muscles, arthritis, and acne are the things that it can help with. And um, the one thing I really liked about this is it got my daughter and I into our backyard because I always say this every time I think just connecting with the earth, like literally just starting in your backyard, do that. And so we went outside and it was right when when the dandelions first come out and it is like they are everywhere. They're like, I'm here. So we
Yes.
went outside and my daughter and I, my 5-year-old, we went and picked them. We left some for the bees because we knew that the bees were starting to come out and some other, pollinators. And so we left them some, but we took enough for us to fill our jar. And then we washed them, soaked them in water just for a little bit to get all the ants and everything else out. And if anyone asks, we saved every single ant's life and put them back outside. Um, so that was very important to my 5-year-old. But yeah, we dried them and then put them in olive oil for about 3 weeks and then melted the beeswax pellets and our oil together. And now we have this salve. So it smells good. Oh, I also put a tiny bit of Greek lavender essential oil drops in there and it smells
Ooh,
so good and it's so pretty. So I just
it
wanted to show
is.
that like we did all of this just from my backyard. I didn't have to order. I mean, I guess I did have to order the pellets, the beeswax pellets, but besides that, like I don't know, we didn't go do anything special or fancy, and it allowed us to connect with nature on a deeper level and bring it into our house. So yeah, I recommend anyone do something like this. The one thing I missed out on this year, my mother-in-law has a gorgeous lilac bush, and so next year I'm gonna go get lilacs and do the same process. I'll have to look up what the differences are as far as infusing a lilac in an oil, but I think that's the scent. I don't even know, I don't even care what it would do for me. Just the scent alone, I think would be amazing.
And honeysuckle would be another one.
Ooh, yes. Oh, honeysuckle would be amazing. Yeah, that would be, yeah. Ooh, yum. Okay. All right. So the other thing I wanted to do, let's see, I think it was Monday night or Tuesday night, is the last quarter moon. And I like to just look up some of the tarot things some of the spreads that you can do with the moon phases. I am trying to get a little bit more like get a system around that for myself because I don't do a great job right now. So I was just looking up, I looked on Pinterest, and just to give credit, this is from the Unseen Realm. I always say that with a accent. The Unseen Realm.ca is who created this wonderful spread. And I did this this morning, and it called me out on a lot of crap that I do. And the full moon was hard, like hard for me, this last one. And so,
It
and
was,
it,
wasn't it?
oh my gosh, yeah. It yeah, so many things, like so many things that it brought with it. And
Yeah.
right now we're just kind of drowning in our house with everything. And so it was nice to do a spread with last quarter waning moon. So, things are shrinking right now. And so what is it that you need to start getting rid of or stop doing, or, things like that? What is that you should be working on? And so this was a very good spread for me. So, even though it's Wednesday, it's, still do the spread. I think it's close enough that we can all benefit from it.
Yeah, could you read
Oh,
the three things?
yes, I sure can. Okay, so the first one is, what do I need to do? Thank you, by the way, for reminding me, Casey. What do I need to do? Let me start over. I can't read today. What do I need to finish up, complete, or end? That's the first card. The second card is, what decisions do I need to make about my future? And then the third card is, what am I not ready to release yet? The third card called me out on so many things.
Yeah.
Um, this was a great spread for me, as far as self-reflection and what I need to start working on. So yeah.
Yeah, those are things that tend to get buried.
Hmm. Right.
We have so many other things to do. We forget to really look deep.
Right. Yeah, that's a very good point. And I think too is we all, even like when working with the moon, I feel like we talk about like what are our goals and what are we growing and what are we doing next? And we don't necessarily think of working with the moon on what am I shrinking, what am I getting rid of, what am I releasing? And so I liked that reminder as well, as it's not always like take, grow, grow, grow. Like changing as a person is also releasing things.
That's right.
So I liked that.
That's right. And
Um,
and remember the before the moon starts to build is the time to really let go of things,
mhm.
and sometimes that's the hardest thing to do.
Yes, yes, very much so. And yeah, it was also it was a good reminder because it helped me go so much deeper for myself because I feel like, well, I am working every day to improve myself, right?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
this is where it kind of calls you on the subconscious things that you're doing that you should look a little bit closer at because those things are blocking you from moving forward. Um,
Yes.
and then, yeah, so this was my spread. When I did that, oh, and by the way, I did get those tarot cards and I love them. So
Oh,
I had
good.
yeah, Queen of Wands, and then Two of Cups, um and then the Chariot reversed for that one. So just to show everybody, this was me going, okay, fine, I'm listening. And then this is the tarot card deck that Casey had talked about last week. So just to show you the box that it comes in, and then kind of what the cards look like. But I really like this. It has helped me a lot, just kind of understanding, and I'm picking a little bit, not a little bit, a lot more out of the tarot cards than I had with my other gorgeous set that I had. Um,
Yeah, I know it's a beginner set, but uh, yeah, I really like it. Sometimes you
yeah,
just need something to kind of trigger the mind.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I really liked it. And it's like it gives you all these little, like the quotes and, what can you kind of journal on and everything about it. Yeah. The only thing that's hard for me is sometimes I have to really look at the photo to be like, okay, those are cups. What
Yeah,
is this?
right,
But that
right,
will come with time.
right.
Yeah, that was all that I had. I just wanted to definitely show off my dandelion salve I'm so proud of.
Yeah.
So,
And it'd be a
yeah,
great memory for her too.
yeah. Yep, she loves it. And I wasn't even thinking she's in 4-H. I should have gotten photos of everything that
Oh,
we were doing
yeah.
because that could have been a project for her. But yeah, I like it. And we have I've been infusing my like honey lately, and I was thinking dandelion might even be a good thing
Yeah,
in that as well.
it would.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, so I thought about maybe looking at combining dandelion and oh, my mind just went blank. The herb that's good for relaxing, calming, and sleep. It's common.
Camphor?
Yeah, no. But that's growing in my yard. I just found some of that. I'll think of it later. Anyway, when I
Yeah.
say it, you're going to be like, "Oh, duh."
Yeah, right.
That is what she meant. It has
Chamomile?
little yellow flowers.
Little yeah.
All right. I love my brain.
Yeah,
Anyway,
mine
so I
too.
thought about just putting those together, infusing them, and then that might make a good honey that way too. So yeah, it's getting me all excited to use my backyard and then just yeah, other stuff in the house. So um yeah, all right. So you traveled again to another cool area in Arkansas and you went to some stores. You got the shark's tooth. Is that correct? Is that where you got that?
I got that the last trip. Yes, I got
Oh,
that
okay.
at the Conway Enchanted. They have a festival that's a metaphysical event at the convention center in Conway, and that's where
Mhm.
I got that. And then after that, we went to the same group. The Enchanted was down in Hot Springs, Arkansas,
Ooh, yeah.
and that was really nice. They had some of the same people were there, and some new people were there,
Hmm.
and it's just so nice to be around all these people. They're so kind, and all day
Hmm.
long they have classes, so you can sit in on classes.
That is so nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah,
quick
I would,
classes. They're nothing too deep, just quick classes.
yeah. Which I think that's kind of nice too. You know, you get
Hmm.
kind of either a refresher or an introduction into something.
Yeah,
And even if you're an expert on something, I feel like eventually you kind of forget some of those basic things. And it is nice to get a refresher on some things like that. So that's awesome. Um, oh, I was going to tell you that yesterday we had a huge storm roll through. We had hail, lightning, thunder, everything. And for a while, I have been wanting to try weather magic and just kind of,
oh yeah,
yeah. And so your book, obviously reminds me of that you bring up sometimes on our podcast. So I like just quickly did a quick Google search for wind, rain, lightning, and thunder. And then I did a tarot card for each one of those. And I'll put that in our newsletter so other people can do it too. And then I left my tarot cards on my altar just for the duration of the storm. Um, and yeah, it was a really cool way to just connect with the weather, like connect with what's happening around me in a way that wasn't just standing at the door going, oh man, it's raining. Instead I was like, oh, I get to utilize this, and like bring this into I don't know, my orbit. So it was really cool. And I don't, obviously, I forgot to bring all my notes with me, but I'll put it in the newsletter of um, what the wind represents and the rain and the thunder and the lightning and like how you tie those together and how you can use those energies. Yeah, I recommend it to anybody. And I'm going to my 365 days of Oracle spreads, I'm going to put that in there so then other people can use that as well. It was
that's a good idea. Yeah. Well, until I had met Deborah Burris, the author of that book, Weather Magic, I had gone to her class. She was up in Kansas City at that metaphysical event,
Mhm.
uh, and I had not. I don't know why, but I had not thought to use the power of the weather
Yeah.
when I did things. And So she opened up a whole world for me.
Hmm.
On a subconscious level, I think we all do use
Hmm.
the weather to to change how we're thinking about something. But
Hmm.
on a conscious level, I hadn't really used the power of the weather. I'm always watching
Yeah.
the barometer and checking what the barometer is doing, and I'm always checking the weather. I've been fascinated by the weather most of my life, but I had
Mm.
never really used it for enhancing something that I'm working on.
Yeah. Yeah. It was it was amazing. And I do feel like I wasn't prepared. Obviously, I was just like quickly, putting things together, but it did make me want to be more like to have something ready for next time because you're right. I think we do tap into the weather subconsciously.
Mm-hmm,
I feel like for me, I'm tapping into it in a very negative way of I'm using my words to speak negatively about it or about
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
what it's doing. And it was kind of an eye opener of just how I conduct myself and the energy that I hold, even when something like that is moving through. So yeah, it was really interesting. And what a good reminder to just kind of always stay tapped in. I don't even know what word I'm looking for, but I don't know if that makes
Like
sense.
when I'm thinking of something, when I'm working on a project, I'm working on the ending of book three, um, and maybe I'm going at it uh, gung ho, and all of a sudden it starts to rain. It seems like it's raining every single day. Well, what is that? What is that doing? So the water is cooling off the fire that was in me. So maybe it's time to rethink what I was doing. So it cools me down to where what I'm re-looking at what I was putting in and realizing, oh yeah, I need to say this or I need to say that or what about this? So I'm it's forcing me to take a moment and relook at it because the rain that we've been getting has been fairly gentle. It hasn't been the gushers. We've got lots of rain and they haven't been um, letting the water out of the dam, so the lake is extremely high. But
Oh,
the rain itself hasn't been torrential right here. Matter of fact, we were in town this weekend and it was pouring in town, and we live out of town. And when we got home, it hadn't rained at all here. But that's how, I mean, I use it. And so if I need to get myself sparked up, that would be the lightning. Something,
yeah.
I've been a little too complacent with things. And so when the lightning comes in, then it helps me. Oh, okay. All right. I need to spark something. I need to get going on something.
Yes. Yes. Yep. That's exactly how I was feeling too. And it was, like I was saying earlier, this since the full moon, it's just been like bam, 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 my family just getting hit, getting hit, getting hit. And it was kind of nice to sit with the lightning and the thunder.
Hmm.
And,
Hmm.
like I'm listening to the weather raging outside, and I'm like, yeah, same, same. I feel the
Hmm.
same way.
Hmm.
And yeah, it was good to like kind of harness all that and let it go as well because when the storm is done, it's done,
Hmm.
and it's like, well, why can't I be like that too? And I don't have to
Hmm.
focus on everything. I can
Hmm.
just let it go and, feel my feelings and let it go. And like what you were saying, as far as like if you're, working on your book and then it starts raining and then maybe that means you're focusing on the power or the fire inside you, what a wonderful way to just be mindful and present.
Hmm.
And so, and I think maybe that's the other part that I like about this is that instead of looking outside the window and being like, "Oh, come on, it's raining. I'm gonna get my hair wet or whatever."
Hmm. Hmm.
It's more like, "What can I do with this?" And like I don't know. I love that, and I think that's what we need. That's what I
And
need
then every
anyway.
morning, I step out here to the studio and it's just across the driveway, but I'm outside and it stormed last night. And this morning, oh my God, it is so beautiful out. How it smells after a rain. Everything is so clean.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, a fresh start.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I had the same thought about the smells, but since I live in the city, it's a different smell after the rain. And I was thinking, um, which it's a sad thing, but usually the first few rains, it's really stinky. Like it's almost like all the chemicals from the city are getting brought up. But then I would
Yes.
say, within a month, it doesn't smell like that anymore. And we're back to like earthworms and,
Right,
other
right.
smells. Yeah. But I
Well, and
had
that's
this,
kind of like with our life. And when we have all these things rain down on us, all the all the creepy things crawl out, and like you said, we smell icky. We're not so good. And then after a while, we've
yeah,
released all that, and we are better.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And yeah, and it made me think, oh, I can't wait for the fresh rain smell. Like I can't wait for that to
Yes,
come back for us,
yes.
which
And it's
hopefully
a
we get.
cycle, so
Yeah.
we know it will.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
cycles around.
Yep.
And then in the summertime, when it's so hot, we have the doldrums, where there's almost no breeze. It's just
Hmm.
hot. Dog days of summer, there's
Yep.
that thick coating on top of the creek. And even though there's water in the creek, it's not moving very much, and you don't want to swim,
Mm,
at that time. And, that is a time that it's time to be still. This is a time
hmm.
to be still. And rather than not like that time of year, it's a time to become like that. So
Yeah.
I try to be like the doldrums. And I didn't realize I was doing that until I read her book.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah, and what a great reminder. I was reading a newsletter, a lady I follow, I have some of her oracle cards that I really like, but she had written a newsletter about how she has oracle cards and like teas and products that are around a woman's menstrual cycle and like all the different changes that we go through. And she has all these programs on how we just change, like we're energetic or we're lethargic or we're grouchy or like we're different, as we move through the phases. And so she was talking about the fact that she was feeling burnt out with, her business and all this stuff. And she goes, and then it dawned on me, I don't even treat my business like how I would treat my body or how I'm telling other people to treat themselves. And she said her big change she's making is that is how she's going to do it. She's going to have these, kind of like cycles throughout the year. And it answered a big question for me because I put my question out in the universe of like, I something is wrong with how I run my business, but I don't know what it is yet. I just know that it's not working for me. And I read her email. I was like, that's what it is. I'm following no cycles at all, and it was just I love when answers come in like right when you know you need it and for sure, that was supposed to come to you. But the fact that she was like writing this email and she was saying, I don't know what's next. I just know that this is what I want to do. I don't know how to do it, but this is what I want to do. And I was like, that's exactly right. I don't know either. But yeah, and like with the weather and that's in cycles and like, yeah, why can't we maneuver that way? I know the rest of the world is not built for that and it's not built for us, but I don't know if I can carve out some piece of myself where I can allow myself to live that way. I think, yeah, it would be easier for me.
I agree. And Friday Gladheart has that wonderful almanac. Every year she comes out with an almanac. It's published by Llewellyn. And she talks about the phases of the moon for every single day of the month, and how at a lecture that I'd gone to that she had done, she talks how you use the phase of the moon to help you run your business, run your life, and everything. And I have to remind myself this particular time of every single month is my low point before the moon starts to build. When the moon
Yeah.
starts to build, then I get better. But at it's like when the moon is in this phase where I've given out so many things, I've let go of so many things, it's like there's nothing left.
Who
And
am I even?
yes, exactly. What is going on? And so then I think about, like, oh, that's right. Friday Gladheart said that, use the phases of the moon and rebuild yourself up as the moon starts to wax and moving toward the full moon phase.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's so smart. And I mean, obviously that's how our ancestors just operated, right? Because that's how you kept track of timing, like in was this phase of the moon. So Yeah, I agree with that. And what was her almanac called again? Was
I
it is that the one that's the witch's almanac or something like that?
Yeah, let's see here. Um, I have it right here somewhere. Oh, here it is. I keep it within arm's length. The Practical Witches 2025 Almanac,
Okay,
and the subtitle is Rebel Wisdom by Friday Gladheart.
nice. And she does it daily by the moon
Hmm.
phase in there? Oh
Hmm.
wow.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that is nice.
so you're, you're going to have
Oh, okay. And
all
so is
30.
that room to write in as well?
Hmm. Yeah, you can write a little bit in there.
Oh, oh, that's nice. Can I see the cover real quick?
Hmm.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. Oh, that looks amazing. Yep,
Yeah, and she's the real deal. I mean, she's really neat.
I love that. Yeah, and even the regular Farmer's Almanac will even tell you like, is it favorable to get a haircut today? Like yes or
Hmm.
no and
Hmm.
things like that. So, I mean, it does really impact a lot. And they even do stuff science-based, right? So they take all those, I don't know, I don't want to call it like old wives' tales or whatever, but they take all those and they put data behind them and they're still
Right,
publishing it. So like it
right.
it does work. Like it does mean something. So yeah, there's so much.
I've always known to follow the moon phases with how I should approach a problem. And I've always known about following the sun because, if there's a plasma stream coming from the sun, I know that it's going to disrupt everything.
Yes.
But I hadn't really considered the weather. I just can't believe I didn't really consider the weather.
Yeah.
I could be all fired up about a project that I'm working on or whatever, and then a windstorm comes on and it adds more fire. You know how wind can make the fire even worse.
Yeah.
And sometimes I go overboard with what I'm working on. I have to watch myself because I used to be a big volunteer person, so I would volunteer for this. I'd say yes to everything. Somebody would ask me, "Could you do
Hmm.
this?" Yes, 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 yes. And so that's when too much wind and too much fire has been going on. I'm volunteering for everything, and pretty much
Hmm.
I have no time for myself.
Yeah.
Uh, and
Yep.
so, but I'd never really thought of the weather that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I am very excited to get more into that and, just discover more and find out what it means to me and how it impacts me. And yeah, I love that.
Oh, here's her book, Weather Magic. And this is the
Yes,
Weather
leather
Magic
magic.
by Deborah
Yep.
Burris.
Yes. Yeah, I need to get that one. It's on my list. I just haven't gotten it yet. But I would say that one's definitely on my list. There was another one. I think I already added it to my shopping cart actually that you and I were talking about. I don't have it written down right here though. Um, so many books.
I know. I have another one here. I think I talked about this before, but holy moly, this is a really good book. A Crystal Basics.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
super heavy. I can't believe how heavy this book is.
I mean, 200
I,
gemstones, it says. Of course, that
yeah,
would be a heavy book.
Nicholas Pearson.
Nicholas
Um,
Pearson. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yep.
see
There.
if I
Yeah,
can
I
get
saw it a
in
little
there.
bit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, it is so good. It is just this.
Yes.
Of course, anything about rocks, I'm there.
Yep. 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 Do you have your shark tooth on right now? It looks like you
Yes, yes, I
do. I love
do.
it. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's huge. That's
Yes,
way
it
bigger than
is.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool. Oh, I love it. It's so cool.
And so every
Uh,
time I think about it, I have it, even if I'm not wearing it, but I'll think about it. And then it helps me to remember that, to be flexible. And sharks do go into very dangerous environments. Uh, and they they usually take good care of themselves. They're pretty adaptable.
yeah. Yeah. I love that. I think that is, yeah, a great animal for right now.
The bull shark is one of the sharks that can swim in both the salt water and in the fresh water. Well, in the
Oh,
murky fresh water.
yeah.
And so the bull sharks will come up the Mississippi from the Gulf of Mexico, or Gulf of America, I guess, and they will go into the Mississippi and come all the way up to St. Louis. They've been known to be all the way up to St.
Oh my
Louis.
gosh. Yeah.
And
Oh
so,
wow.
the sharks will adapt.
Yes, I would say so. My goodness. That is so cool. Yay. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, this was so good. This was such a fun one. What did we learn in today's podcast? Flexible like sharks,
Hmm.
strong like an ox,
Yes.
and garnet. Oh, I already forgot the other stone, and I'll probably say
E
it in a weird way.
Erythrite.
Yeah,
Erythrite.
erythrite.
Erythrite. Yeah. It's a hard one to say.
Yes, all good stones and symbolisms for right now, getting us through
And erythrite
all the
opens up all
things.
your chakras and lets it all flow.
Yes.
And
Yep.
the garnet is really good for giving you the courage.
Hmm.
And of course, the copper. This is
Yes.
based on copper that goes deep into the center.
Yes.
Did you get
I
chills
did.
just
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
copper? So did I.
I did. Yeah. I did.
There's
I just,
something about
yeah,
copper right now.
there is. There is. Yep. I still have my bracelet on that I do not take off. Yeah. Copper, 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 copper. Anybody listening to this, just go get some and just put it
Or
somewhere on you.
yeah, or some pennies.
Yeah.
People
Or
have
some,
all these
yeah.
pennies that they've saved, and
Yeah.
lay a bunch of pennies down flat and lay down on it and do a
Oh, yeah.
meditation on top of a bunch
Yes.
of pennies.
Yeah. Do that. Oh, yeah. I love that. And then our other lesson is start working with the weather, or at least just start paying attention to it in a way where you're not upset about it, where you are
Right.
utilizing it,
Yeah.
or even just appreciating it. Start
Hmm.
there, if you don't
Hmm.
know what to do.
Hmm.
And then yeah, get a book like Weather Magic and start learning more about it. Anything else that I'm missing?
Oh, the ox.
Oh, yes, the ox. Oh, yes. The strength and let's see what else. I was going to pull up the card and look at it again. Um, it's not always easy to keep going, but with each step, there is victory and you can do it.
Yep.
That was
Yep.
very paraphrasing.
Yep. Take another chance.
Take another
You can
chance.
pull through. It is pulling a cart. You can pull through.
Exactly.
You
Yes,
can
you
do
can pull.
this.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And you don't have a choice,
Hmm.
So just keep going. Like literally you
Yes.
don't have a choice. You have to get through it.
Yeah.
So, and that's why
Yeah.
I also like some of that symbolism too, is it's like, yeah, I can do it. I got this.
Yeah. You're moving up
I
the
got the
spiral.
tools. Yeah. Oh, and one more reminder too, is your morning sweep. What
Oh
was
yeah.
done now is done. That was then is gone. With my broom, I sweep joy. I choose joy from now on. Ah, I
Oh, I
love
get
it.
chills.
I know. I got those copper chills with that. With that. I love it.
Yeah.
Uh, all right. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. And Casie, thank you for joining me. I love having you with me each Wednesday, and you are one of the highlights of my week, and I just appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.